Turn words into images. The world of digital art is huge, and you've probably seen a ton of AI-generated images online. But did you know that you can actually learn to create such images yourself? Stable Diffusion is a magic engine that turns words into digital art, and you will discover how to command it here. Let's dive in. What is Stable Diffusion? Stable Diffusion is an AI tool that turns your ideas into images. No design skills required. You type a description and it generates a matching visual. What makes it special? It can produce high-quality visuals at an affordable price. Stable Diffusion can generate images in a wide range of styles, from photorealistic portraits to abstract art, from anime-style characters to oil painting landscapes. If you can describe it, Stable Diffusion can create it. So, in this guide, you'll learn how to craft prompts that translate your vision precisely, adjust Stable Diffusion settings for different effects, blend artistic styles, and many more. Moreover, because learning isn't just about theory, you'll get plenty of chances to put your new skills into action throughout the course. Let's start with navigation. Navigating through Stable Diffusion. Stable Diffusion can be used via the OpenArt platform. To start creating, click on the Image, Create Image in the left-hand menu, and you'll find your workspace. In the workspace, you'll see several key areas. Custom settings for style presets. To guide the aesthetic model selector field, choose Stable Diffusion. A prompt box where you type your idea. Generation settings to control your output. Let's begin writing your first creative prompt. Cool, right? But that's just the beginning. How about something more fantastical? See how a few well-chosen words create something unique? That's the power of prompt crafting. You're not just describing an image, you're directing the AI like an artist directing a scene. In the following lessons, you'll learn even more. Defining subject and medium, controlling the color schemes and lighting, image-to-image techniques. As a result, from photorealistic portraits to surreal landscapes, by the end of this course, you'll generate the art you envision. Ready to start transforming ideas into visual masterpieces? Let's dive into the world of Stable Diffusion. The art of prompt crafting. Prompts are the way you communicate with AI, and learning how to craft them well will allow you to create images exactly as you imagine. Therefore, let's dive in and master this art. Why prompts matter. A well-crafted prompt is like a detailed blueprint for a building. The clearer your instructions, the closer the final image will be to your vision. What do you think is the main advantage of using a detailed prompt over a simple one? It gives the AI more precise instructions. It always produces better quality images and takes less time to generate. To understand the importance of a good prompt, imagine you want to generate an image of a Persian cat. In such a scenario, basically asking for a cat will result in any random cat image. In turn, prompting a regal Persian cat with sapphire eyes lounging on a velvet cushion will create an exact result that you imagined. The more precise you are, the better the result will be. Anatomy of an effective prompt. Let's break down the structure of a great prompt. It typically includes 1. Subject. What's the main focus? 2. Action or state. What is it doing? 3. Setting. Where is it? 4. Style. How should it look artistically? 5. Mood. What's the overall feeling? Descriptive elements. Adjectives bring your prompts to life. They add specificity, color, and emotion to your instructions. Instead of vague or generic results, adjectives help guide AI to generate more vivid, accurate, and engaging outputs. From the above example, you could have also noticed the stylistic specification used in the prompt. That is, it asked for an image to be in the style of Impressionism. The thing is that such artistic terms elevate your prompts even further. Words like chiaroscuro, impressionist, or art nouveau influence the style of your generated image. Given the above, how can you make an image prompt more vivid and detailed? Maximize the use of adjectives. Add detailed descriptions. Common pitfalls to avoid. So, when crafting prompts, avoid these mistakes. Being too vague. A nice landscape doesn't give the AI much to work with. Overloading. Cramming too many conflicting ideas into one prompt can confuse the AI. Ignoring composition. Remember to specify the focus and arrangement of elements. Neglecting style. Without style guidance, you might get a photo when you want a painting. Forgetting mood. The emotional tone can make or break an image. Practice makes perfect. The more you practice crafting prompts, the better you'll get. Start simple and gradually add more details. Pay attention to how your choice of words influences the outcome. Once you master the basics, start experimenting and stay open to unexpected but creative results. In these terms, keeping a prompt journal can help. Note down which words work well and which don't. This way, you'll eventually develop your own style of prompt crafting. What's next? Now that you've explored the basics, it's time to dive into the technical side. In the next lesson, you'll discover how settings can influence your images and how to combine them with your prompts for consistent results. Your first steps in image generation. You've learned how to craft prompts. Now, let's look under the hood. In this lesson, you'll discover how a few key settings can make your images sharper, more accurate, or more creative. Crafting your first prompt. Let's start with a simple prompt and build from there. Now let's enhance our prompt by adding a stylistic element, as you did previously. This will make it more specific. The results so far are cool, aren't they? However, there are a few life hacks that you can use to enhance your prompts and results, respectively. Custom settings. For example, in the first lesson, we mentioned the custom settings field. There, instead of writing the style in your prompt, you can choose from 100 plus of styles and style palettes. You can find everything from fantasy and anime to photorealism and pastel illustration. More settings. Apart from styles, there are other interesting key settings: steps, negative prompts, and samplers. Steps control the image refinement process. Negative prompts tell the AI what to avoid. Samplers determine the noise removal method. Steps. This is the number of times Stable Diffusion refines the image. More steps generally mean a more detailed image, but also a longer generation time. Currently, Stable Diffusion supports up to 12 steps, and you can find it in the Advanced Settings field. Let's try with a starting point of 3 steps. Now, let's increase the number of steps and compare the results. Have you noticed any significant difference? Yes, the image with more steps shows more detail and clarity. Yes, the image with fewer steps has more vibrant colors. Yes, but the difference is mainly in the cloud formations. Yes, the image with more steps has a wider field of view. So, overall, higher step counts produce cleaner, more refined results. For most images, the maximum available steps will give you the best quality, though generation may take slightly longer. Negative prompts. Sometimes, it's just as important to tell the AI what you don't want. That's where negative prompts come in. They help you exclude unwanted elements, styles, or colors from your image. Let's see the difference they make. To see how it works, let's try without negative instructions first. See the difference? The second image avoids the neon aesthetic entirely. Negative prompts give you more control by filtering out elements that don't fit your vision. Conclusion. All in all, you've taken your first step. Samplers and combined prompt techniques. Building on your understanding of the stable diffusion setting, we'll now explore how to use samplers. We'll also learn how to combine these elements to create more refined and targeted images. This lesson will enhance your ability to control and customize your image generation process. Let's jump in. Understanding samplers. When you generate an image, Stable Diffusion doesn't create it all at once. It builds the image step by step, refining it gradually until it's complete. This is how steps work. Samplers in turn control how those steps are taken, how quickly the image changes, how carefully the details are added, how smooth or sharp the final result looks. So, once specified in the prompt, different samplers produce different results. Think of it like drawing a picture by hand. One person sketches fast and fixes details later. Another draws slowly and carefully from the start. Both can finish a good drawing. They just get there in different ways. DPM++ sampler. Let's go through the most relevant samplers one by one, starting with the DPM++ sampler. This one is the modern default for most Stable Diffusion models. It offers a good balance of stability, detail, and speed. As you can see, DPM++ produced a clean, balanced result. For most tasks, this is your safest starting point. It handles a wide range of prompts reliably. Euler, Euler. Another sampler is Euler, and its variant, Euler. It's fast and produces more variation between generations. This makes it useful for experimentation. When you're still exploring ideas and want to see different possibilities from the same prompt. Notice how the result has a slightly different feel. Euler introduced more variation in style, or textures, which can be helpful when you're experimenting. Choosing between samplers. As you may have noticed, the choice of sampler can affect your results. Here's a simple guide. Use DPM++ as your default, and Euler when experimenting. Let's try using different samplers with another prompt. What differences did you notice between the DPM++ and Euler A images? DPM+ produced sharper, more defined details. DPM++ added motion blur to the image. Euler made the image hyper-realistic. Euler created a softer, more varied result. Combining prompt and settings. Now that we understand all basic settings, let's combine them with our prompt knowledge to create more specific images. See how combining a clear prompt with the right settings gives you more control? The key is to adjust one element at a time, prompt, steps, or sampler, so you can see what's working and refine from there. Congratulations! You've now learned the fundamental elements of image generation: prompts, steps, negative prompts, and samplers. In the next lesson, you'll put it all together and build a complete workflow using everything from Unit 1. Wrapping up your journey, Ortoids, you've unlocked the power of stable diffusion, and it's time to see just how far you've come. Let's put your skills to the test. The foundations of stable diffusion. We began our journey by exploring the core concepts of stable diffusion. Going back, which of the following best describes how stable diffusion generates images? By combining pre-existing images based on keyword matching. By using GANs to create images from scratch. By gradually removing noise from a random starting point guided by text prompts. By applying filters to stock photos based on text descriptions. The art of prompt crafting. Also, you've learned that the key to great AI-generated art lies in crafting effective prompts. A well-structured prompt can make the difference between a mediocre image and a masterpiece. Which of these prompts is likely to produce the most specific and detailed image? An inventor working on a machine in a room with tools. A steampunk inventor tinkering with a brass contraption in a cluttered Victorian workshop, lit by warm gaslight. A steampunk scene with an inventor working on a new instrument. Applying different styles. You've learned that you can write a style directly in your prompts. However, this approach might be limiting if you don't have much knowledge about different styles. In this sense, imagine you're creating a series of illustrations for a children's book and want to explore different visual styles quickly. What's the best approach for quickly experimenting with different artistic styles? Use style palettes to browse and apply preset styles. Write a new prompt from scratch for each style. Adjust the step count for each variation. Using negative prompts. You've also learned how negative prompts help you exclude unwanted elements from your images. Let's say you're generating a cute cartoon puppy, but the AI keeps making it look too realistic and photographic when you want a simple, stylized illustration. What's the best way to fix this issue? Add realistic, photographic, detailed fur, hyperrealistic to the negative prompt field. Increase the number of steps and switch to a different sampler. Lower the step count. Refining with steps. Remember how steps control image refinement? More steps generally mean more detail, but only up to a point. Imagine you've generated an image of a detective fox in a trench coat, but the fur textures and fabric folds look a bit rough and undefined. What should you try first to get sharper details? Add more words to your prompt. Change the sampler to Euler. Use a negative prompt. Increase the number of steps. Choosing the right sampler. Finally, you've learned that samplers control how the AI takes each step toward your final image. Let's say you're experimenting with ideas for a fantasy book cover and want to see varied interpretations of the same prompt. Which sampler would be most useful for this exploration phase? DPM++, Euler. Well done. You've solidified the workflow of how prompts, settings, and samplers work together to create the images you envision. Continuing stable diffusion journey. To sum everything up, you've built a solid foundation in understanding how stable diffusion works. Yet, this is only a beginning. In the next unit, we'll dive deeper into more sophisticated techniques. Keep trying different prompts and settings and have fun creating. Remember, the key to mastery is continuous practice and experimentation.